And Leo, the stars are shining on you now because you have the sun and Jupiter right on you. And Jupiter's with you for the rest of the year till next summer. Good things are coming for Leo, but I will discuss all of that next week. So for now, actually no, I won't discuss that next week. I will discuss that on the 8th or the 9th of August. Next week, I will be having these guys from the Bunker Report. I suggest you go to Facebook, check them out. They talk about Earth changes, and I'm going to talk next week about what the government isn't telling you about what's going on in Yellowstone. So stay tuned. Now tonight, I am joined by a fellow co-host here at DTM Radio. He's known as the Paranormal Rebel, the Paranormal Bad Boy. I call him Jason the Viking. But that's my inside joke with him because I've seen his astrology chart. So he's the host of Ghost Chat Radio right here on DTM, Wicked Radio. You can hear him every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He's a paranormal investigator and a published book author of Unrested Peace. I'm hoping I have my guest on with me. Do we have Jason on the phone yet?
I'm here.
Hey, here he is, folks. Jason Stanton. Welcome
I'm
to the
here.
show. Okay. Welcome to the show, Jason. How are you?
I'm good. Bad Boy was a new one. I've never heard that one before.
Oh, well, I added that. Did you like that?
That's a new one. It's all good, though.
It's all good. All good. Well, actually, what I wanted to ask you, isn't there a big event going on for you tomorrow?
Tomorrow night in Palmyra, New York? Yes, there is. We've got, there's still some tickets if anyone wants to buy them. They're available on Eventbrite, so you can check that out. It's 3 locations that I have access to till 1 p.m., 1 a.m. or something like that, 1 or 2, I don't fucking know. It's a pretty long evening, and yeah, it's 3 great locations. One was a brothel, one was a museum that was turned into a house. There's been a lot of deaths in the house part of the museum. They have a museum that's up now. In there they're seeing lots of shadow figures and noises, and some of it may be pertaining to the artifacts that are in there. I have no idea, but hopefully we'll find out when we go there. Not to mention, I do believe we're also going to be broadcasting that live on DTM. I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure we are.
Oh, that's tomorrow night, correct?
Tomorrow night, yes. It starts at 7, so 7 or 8.
So 7 Eastern Time, folks, all my Pacific Coast people, 3 hours behind us. Remember, that's the East Coast. That sounds good. That sounds fun. I wish I was on the East Coast. I'd like to go to that.
Yeah.
Now, Jason, I wanted to ask you, because you are a published book author of a book called Unrested Peace, correct?
Yes, I am. Yes, I wrote that, or read that, depending on what part of the country you're from.
Hey, we don't need to be politically correct here. This is an English class. Who gives a rat's ass, right?
That's right.
Can you talk a little bit I'm in the process of buying this book too. Payday for me is only once a month, so I get paid August 1st, and I'm going to put my order into Amazon. But can you tell people a little bit about the book without giving away the details?
Well, sure, I suppose I can tell a little bit. It's definitely a story of my past life. Well, not my past life, but, what I was like when I was a teenager, early teenager, 14, 15. And basically, growing up, I was kind of bullied a lot, and I was picked on a lot, and I really didn't have any friends at all. And my parents really didn't give a shit about me either. Their idea of raising me was get the fuck out of my hair. So, I didn't have no one I could talk to or hang out with or play with. And, needless to say, I did find one friend growing up, and that person became an extremely close friend of mine, which you'll find out when you read the book.
Okay.
And, we moved into this house, right outside of town, and there were some weird occurrences. So, basically, I have all that in it, and it's not just about paranormal. So, a lot of people, they've come up to me and they've asked, oh, Jay, I don't like too scary books, is it too scary? And it's like, Not really. It's got more fucking in it than it does ghosts, if you want my honest opinion.
So it's a romantic, it's a romance novel, with a little bit of the paranormal in it.
It's a new age book, I guess you can say. I mean,
like
the
that.
book isn't derived around, all of these. It's basically, specific things that happened to me that helped me grow, spiritually, emotionally, and intellectually. And, ways that I've utilized those bad experiences to continue to push myself forward.
Well, that's true. I've always said that those experiences that we have in life, the bad ones, they have to happen to us to make us stronger and to get through something. It's like a life lesson we have to learn or something. Sucks when you're going through it, but at the end of the tunnel, there's always a positive, and obviously with you writing this book, it's become a big positive.
It has, and to be honest with you, I mean, the title of it was kind of a metaphor for that, unrested being, that past experience that I went through that still kind of, sits in the back of my head. It's always going to be there. It's never going to go away. I can't fix that. But, peace being that, I can utilize that in a way that I can find, that inner peace within.
That's cool. Well, folks, check it out. It's on Amazon, correct, Jason?
It is. It's on Amazon. It's available for paperback and Kindle. I believe it's pretty cheap. I'm not 100%. I haven't even looked at it. It's kind of weird because even with my show and book, I never have actually done anything in the past with it. I've never reviewed my last show. I've never listened to it. I don't even know what I sound like on the air. And the same thing with this. I don't know how it's doing or how well it's going. It's gotten some good ratings. I can tell you that, but that's all I know. You know what I mean?
Well, in a way, you and I are kind of alike because I don't go and listen to some of my past shows. I don't know. I hate the sound of my voice. So I mean, it's kind of ironic. I do radio, but I don't. Everyone always says, "Didn't you hear what happened? Did you hear your show?" And then this and that. No. I never go back and listen to my shows unless something really interesting has happened, So I get you on that. So, well, Jason, maybe you should Google yourself, see what you get.
I'm not that stuck on myself. I can't do that.
I'm not either. I'm actually scared to Google myself. God knows what you might find.
I could probably find a lot of crap about myself, because, hey, it is what it is. I don't give a shit.
Well, when you're in radio, you get the good with the bad. You get the good and you get the bad, and sometimes we see the ugly side of things, and as you well know.
There's a lot of ugly sides out there, but hey,
yes,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. I want to discuss a little bit with you about your paranormal experiences. I don't call myself a full-fledged paranormal investigator. I probably go on maybe 4 investigations a year, if that. Obviously, I'm an astrologer first, but I do enjoy going on investigations when I get the opportunity. And I'm going to be having the opportunity to go with Big Time Paranormal and Larry Gonzalez, who's affiliated out here in California, very soon on some places. But I wanted to talk to you about some of your experiences that, there's some people that we go and you investigate places, and there's just few places that really stick with you and that make like a really big impression on you. Or have you had any of those in your lifetime? I think we're losing you, Jason.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
I said, yeah, the book that I'm writing right now is actually about something like that. There's a place, I don't know, probably about an hour drive from me, hour and a half drive, south closer to New York City, that I go to, and it's an old asylum, and it's closed down, and, it's a pretty interesting location, and there's nothing bad in it, I guess you can say, and there's nothing really good in it either. It was an asylum for the mentally handicapped, I guess you can say. But back when it was built, it was built in the early 1900s. But during that time, I mean, if you were blind or you know, you have some kind of hearing impaired problem or, you know, slow mobile skills, whatever the case is, you were declared mentally challenged, you know. They didn't mind that, so a lot of parents would drop their kids off here just because, you know, they were blind and they're mixing them in with people who have serious mental issues. So, I mean, it's a pretty depressing place, but it kind of calls you every time, you know, every chance you get, you just want to keep going there and keep going there. It's just one of those places that you always want to go. And it's pretty common to, you know, see shadows in that building. It's common to hear voices. It's common to hear footsteps. I mean, it's a pretty interesting place.
That sounds really cool. Well, you know, there are places like that that really kind of stick with you. You know, what you said in your first part of the broadcast about kind of being a loner kid growing up and an outcast. I was actually like that, too. As a teenager, I hung out in the cemeteries a lot. Strange as it is, you know, it's like, okay, why are you hanging out in the cemetery? Your mother thinks you're weird. But I felt safer amongst the dead than I did the living. Is that the song?
I hung out in cemeteries too a lot, not because there's dead people there. I you much not avoid that. Going, you know, 10, 12 me out there because it did help me find that little bit of serenity from the society that has been rejecting me. So, I mean, that's where I kind of felt peace within. And,
yes.
You know, they kind of stuck with me.
It makes sense, you know, that you find that peace within. You know, it's kind of funny now that I'm older and I'm doing radio and whatnot. I see some of the kids I went to high school with, and, you know, I'm very much an evolved person now than I was back then, and you can kind of see the jealousy, you know, with people on how, you know, because we had to have those experiences to get to the next level in life. And it's just kind of funny. Not that I give a rat's rear end, but, you know, I could care less what people think of me. But it's kind of funny how someone like yourself and someone like myself, and I know that there's others in the paranormal world that were those loners or weird kids or, you know, I mean, it's just one of those things. But as we get older, we kind of grow into our own selves and we're more comfortable with saying whatever we want to say and doing whatever we want to do and being whoever we want to be. So don't ever change.
I always said the choices that you make is going to determine who you wind up becoming. And, you know, that's just the way it is. I mean,
that's very true. Those choices that you make. I have no regrets, you know, on the things, the choices I've made in life. No regrets, because it's brought me here, you know.
Yeah. And you are who you are because of what you've done and how you managed to do that at that particular time.
That is very true. Well, we can, so you're writing a book about your paranormal experiences, so I know you don't want to go too much into all of that, and you were talking about an asylum that's really cool. And Jason, do you ever have any plans to come out to California?
I've been trying my butt to get out to California. Needless to say, a lot of venues they contact me and they say, Jay, we would love for you to come. And then, you know, I look at them and it's like, dude, this is how much it's going to cost for me just to get out there and back.
I know.
That's what I need. You know, I need my plane ticket paid for because I build houses every day. You know, I'm a dipshit just like everyone else in this country. You know, struggling to pay my bills. So I tell them, you know, you have to at least pay for my plane tickets. You know, and they find that out and it's like, no, we can't do that, Jay. I'm like, well, I don't have the money to fork out of my ass. You know?
No, and I've seen how much airline tickets are lately, and it's insane. That's why my family keeps asking me, you haven't been back to New York in 10 years. Why? Right? Because I'm broke. Because I'm broke? I can't even afford the gas that's in my car. Let alone the gas to, you know, to fly somewhere. But I totally get it. It's expensive, but I'm sure with all the connections you have in California, if you ever get out here, you will definitely have many places to stay, many different people. I can't hear you, Jason.
I said I know I'd have a blast out there, and I know there's a lot of people out there who keep asking me, you know, you got to come out here and check this out. You got to come out here. But when the funds are limited, I can only work within my means.